Thank you very much for taking time to join us today to have some question for you about the
Right.
Wayfairs. The first one, I want to ask that why did Wayfair choose the moment to enter the Vietnamese market?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, for Wayfair, like one of our objectives is we want to work with the best suppliers and manufacturers across the globe. We sell a lot of product from China. We sell a lot of product from Vietnam, Malaysia, India, Turkey as well. And we believe it's really important to build relationships with the companies that can help us scale. Our corporate office is in Boston. We've historically run most of our supplier-facing teams from our Boston office in the United States. But as we've grown, we've realized that we need to get more localized. So we launched a team in Shanghai a few years ago. That has been really fruitful. It's allowed us to identify key suppliers, businesses that are interested in scaling on Wayfair, developing really key relationships. And so through those learnings, we've realized doing something similar in Vietnam is also important.
So,
Yeah.
next question. How does Vietnamese suppliers base contribute to Wayfair's global supply chain strategy?
So say that again.
How does Vietnam supplier base contribute to Wayfair's global supply chain?
Yeah, I think the product coming from Vietnam is incredibly important to our catalog. With Wayfair's business model, we don't buy inventory. So we work with suppliers. Those suppliers are responsible for having goods, whether that's in the US, Canada, UK, Ireland. And we think assortment and variety is really important to having a good customer experience. So there are types of products that are better coming from Vietnam than China or other countries. Things like solid wood, teak outdoor furniture. So by scaling Vietnam, we're able to offer the customer different types of items at different price points and different materials. And so we want to have the largest assortment, both online and offline for furniture. To do that, we need to make sure we're working with different companies that are sourcing products all over the world. And so for Vietnam, our belief is the assortment here is very additive and incremental to the business that we're doing today, and that's something that we want to scale.
So, how will the Ho Chi Minh City office support supplier onboarding,
Yeah.
local operations, and Wayfair regional presence?
Yeah, I mean, Neeraj and Steve, the two co-founders, like they built this business on personal relationships. We think being present in Vietnam allows us to build meaningful partnerships with suppliers. Human interaction is really important. And so having a team here that understands the culture, can speak Vietnamese, we think we can, by investing in Vietnam and having a dedicated team here, we can remove a lot of friction and we can help educate suppliers and help them understand what are the things that they need to do to work with Wayfair. And so one of our goals is we want to remove as much friction as possible in the supplier relationship. So if there's a team here like Ellie and Henry, and suppliers have questions, they have a team that they can go to. They can educate them on logistics, merchandising, pricing. There's a ton of education that's needed. And the localized team is going to be able to put a lot of time and energy into that to make sure that our key partners in Vietnam really understand our platform. And so that's really, that's why we want to have this team in Vietnam is to localize and educate suppliers and help them make really smart decisions on how to work with Wayfair, whether they want to focus on the Europe business or the North America business. The team's here to help facilitate that.
So quickly, one more question.
Yeah.
Can you share how Castlegate and other logistic solutions will optimize fulfillment for Vietnamese suppliers?
Yeah, I think it's similar to what I was just saying is we want to make it easy for suppliers to work with Wayfair. If you think about a supplier or manufacturer, the parts of the business that they're really good at is product development, sourcing items, and manufacturing product. So after that, it's like, well, what do they do next? How do I get these items into the US? When they're in the US, how do I manage my inventory? How does it ship to the customer? These are like real friction points. And so Wayfair, like we want to own that part of the relationship. So for a supplier, the thing that you need to care about is launching great SKUs, merchandising them well, and then we work with you on the logistics. We'll tell you where the inventory needs to go in the US. You can leverage our freight services. You can leverage our fulfillment services. We'll make sure your product is shipping out quickly. It's arriving to the customer on time. And so the importance of Castlegate is to take a lot of the burden and the responsibility off the supplier, let them focus on the things that they're really good at, and then we'll help them manage the rest. And so that's why we started Castlegate. And, we offer Castlegate, it's not just for Vietnamese companies, but we offer for companies out of Malaysia, out of China, India, even some of our US domestic manufacturers use Castlegate as a way to drive better customer experiences when it comes to speed of delivery and then the quality of the delivery. Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, it was very nice to meet you. Thank you.